Okay. Just get the macro scheme out, sorry. Okay, so question 1. Okay, girls, the first question was factorizing a quadratic equation. Okay, very disappointing the amount of people in the room who can't do this. 2 sets of brackets is magnify. Okay, can you see that? If maybe I'll write in black, it might be better. 2x, sorry, 2x and x, is that, no, it's too far up. Can you read that? Factors of 15 are 3 and 5, so I'll go, no I won't, 5 and 3, no, 3 and 5, this way I'll go. Plus tells me the same sign, both minuses. So in the middle minus 5x, on the outside minus 6x, it says solve. So let each bracket equal 0, so 2x minus 5 equals 0, x is equal to 5 over 2, right, and x minus 3 equals 0, so x equals 3. Okay, 5 marks for that. Okay, right. Really hurt me to see how many people couldn't factorize a quadratic equation. Really hurt me. Right, okay, some of you need to go. Right, okay, you need to go. Right, you've given it a go, but now it's done. Right, okay. Right, for this, if you look, everywhere there was an x, there's now 1 over t squared, because it was 2x squared minus 11x plus 15. Now everywhere we had an x, it's now 1 over t squared. Okay, so everywhere there was an x, it's 1 over t squared. But you know, you've solved for x, so you know 1 over t squared is equal to 5 over 2, because that's what x is. Right, or 1 over x, or 1 over t squared is equal to 3. Okay, so cross multiply and solve, so you get 5t squared equals 2, so t squared is equal to 2 over 5. Get the square root of 2/5 and round it up to 2 places decimals, so we'll get, I think that one is 0.58. Right, over here, cross multiply here, you get 3t squared equals 1, so t squared is equal to 1/3, get the square root of 1/3, and the square root of 1/3, I'm not sure which one is which, but one of them works out to be 0.58 and the other works out to be 0.63. Okay, is that right? 5 marks for that. Okay, and just for your information, that's on the Junior Cert course. Both those questions are on the Junior Cert course. Okay, just so you know. Okay, because I think some people might be fooling themselves a little bit. Okay, right, are we good? Can I go? Going, gone? Sorry? That was 5 also, yeah. Okay, 5 and 5. Say that again? Come to me with the problems afterwards, because there's probably loads of errors. Okay, so I'll have to fix it afterwards. Did you round it up to 2 places decimals? Yeah. Right, okay, I'll have a look at it afterwards. Right, okay, this is a factor of this, right, okay, and show this. Okay, so if it's a factor, girls, it divides in evenly. Okay, that's the story with a factor, so you need to do long division. Okay, so long division, I want to divide x squared plus px plus 3. I want to divide that into ax cubed plus bx squared plus 11x plus r. You know it's a factor, so you know it divides in evenly. Okay, so that means whatever remainder you get is 0, right? Because there is no remainder because it's a factor. So we're going to get a big long remainder, and you need to let the remainder equal 0. So x squared into ax cubed goes ax times. Then you multiply ax by x squared is ax cubed. Ax by apx is apx squared. Ax by 3 is 3ax. Okay. Can you read this? Is it okay? If I had a jack or biro, it would be better. I'd say by a gel biro. I just want to see. Is this one better? So change the signs. Is that better or worse? No one's speaking, so I'll take it. It is the same. Yeah? Maybe if I do the red pen, see, I hate writing in red, but they cancel, and you end up with bx squared minus apx squared plus 11x minus 3ax plus 11x, and then you bring down plus r. Is that better, the red, or worse? Better? Right, okay. Then it's crazy long, but remember with long division, all you need to worry about is the first term. So x squared into bx squared goes b times, so plus b, and then you multiply everything by b. So at bx squared plus bpx plus 3b, okay, and then you subtract, so that's minus, that's minus, that's minus, they cross out, and we have minus apx squared plus 11x plus, sorry, that's actually a minus, bpx minus 3ax plus 11x plus 3b plus r. Okay, I think I've everything written down there, have I? Keep an eye out and make sure I have. Right, that remainder, big long remainder, crazy remainder, but you know that equals 0. Right, okay? So your big long remainder equals 0. So this is equality of algebraic expression. So you let the x squared term on the right hand side. So the x squared term on the right hand side, which is apx squared, equal to the x squared term on the left hand side, there is none. Okay? Knock off the x squares and you get ap is 0. Okay? Now you let all the x terms, so the x terms are 11x, minus bpx minus 3ax plus 11x, and again equals 0x. There is no x term over there. Right? Okay, so that would divide across by x, and you get 11 minus bp minus 3a. I put in the 11x twice, didn't I? Okay, I don't need that there because I put it in over there. Alright, okay, equals 0. And then I'm just going to rearrange, so bp equals 11 minus 3a. Is that okay? Finally, the numbers by themselves with no r's or no x's in them equals 0. So r is equal to minus 3b. I'm going to leave that for a minute. Okay? Now, I want to prove this up here. Okay? So I want to prove, this is what I want to prove. Right? That p times b minus ap equals 11 minus 3a. See that AP? See that AP in there? I've just proved that's 0, haven't I? Okay, so I'm going to put in a 0 there. So that's p into b minus 0 equals 11 minus 3a. I'm going to multiply in, that's bp equals 11 minus 3a, and look, I've already proved that's correct. So they match, so I'm done. So I've shown it. Okay? Crazy long question, okay, but it's only long division, okay, but it's just really hard. Okay? Sorry, move it down, move it, wait now, if I go, sorry. Is that okay? Sorry? How many marks for that? Sorry, 10. 10 marks for that. Okay, and then for part 2, it says 33 minus 9a, so 33 minus 9a equals PR. That's what I'm trying to prove. Okay, well, I start with where I finished the last one. So BP is equal to 11 minus 3a. I want P in its own, right? So I'm just going to divide by B. So 11 minus 3a divided by B. But I'm trying to prove R, so I'm going to multiply each side by R, so I PR, okay? Because that's what the sum says. So PR equals, you can't see anymore, 11 minus 3a all over B times R. But remember the end of this, I said R was minus 3b, didn't I? Okay, so instead of that R there, I'm going to put in minus 3b. So it's 11 minus 3a over b multiplied by minus 3b. The b's cancel, and you're multiplying in by minus 3, so I'll get, why have I a wrong sign? Because this is minus 3b up here, and that's plus 3b. Sorry, I missed the minus there. That's a minus 3b. So when I brought it across, it's a plus 3b. So multiplying by plus 3b, so I get 33 minus 9a. So PR equals 33 minus 9a, which is what I just wanted to prove there. Okay, and that would be 5 marks for that. Okay. Are we good? Can I move? Going. No? Are you still writing then? You're not screaming. I can see you still writing. Will you scream at me, please? Can I go? I'm going because nobody's answering me. Right, okay. This one, girls, process of elimination. Right, okay. Look at those graphs. You have to match them. What do we know? This is sad face. What do we know about a sad face? It's going to be a x squared term, isn't it? The highest power of x is going to be x squared, agreed? And it's going to be negative, agreed? So let's do the easy one first. Right, so out of the 3 here, right, okay. So out of the 3, we know this is going to have a minus x squared term. So when you multiply out, right, you're going to end up with a minus x squared. So which one out of the 3 will give you an x squared term with a minus to start with? If you're to multiply, now you could multiply the whole lot out, but just multiply the x's. So if I multiply here, I get x minus x by x. What will that give me? You know, if I multiply the x's, minus x by x will give me minus x squared, wouldn't it? If I just multiply the x's here, minus x by x, so this will give me minus x squared when I multiply out. What about this one? When I multiply out here, what will it give me? Minus x cubed, won't it? Because there's a minus in front. What if you multiply the x's here? That'd be a minus x. When you multiply the x's here, square the first, you'll get x squared. And this will be an x. So what will it be? Minus x to the power of 4, would you agree? And this one down here, x by x squared by x will give me an x to the power of 4. Now I haven't multiplied out the terms, I just multiplied the x's, right? So I have the highest power of x, right? Because that indicates to me what the shape of the graph is. Okay, so this is going to be minus x squared, that's definitely graph B. Would you agree? Okay, right. This one, tell me about this. what's it going to be? It's going to be a cubic anyway, isn't it? Right? We know what cubic graphs look like. It's going to be a cubic, right? Okay. It's finishing on a low. So when you finish on a low, are you positive or negative? You're negative. So it's a negative x cubed. So that one is definitely C. Agreed? Right. Okay. We're 2/3 of the way there. Right. Okay. This one. It's going to be an x to the power of 4 anyway. Right? Okay. It's going to be an x to the power of an even number because it starts and finishes facing the same direction. So that means it's x to the power of an even number, and it's going to be x to the power of 4 because we know. Right? It's finishing on a low. Positive or negative? It's all about the finish. Finishing on a low is a positive or negative? Negative. Right? So there you are. That would be A. Are we okay? So marks for that. Wait now, if I move up. Sorry. 10 marks. 10 marks. Right. Okay. And I was very disappointed to see some of you didn't even recognise the quadratic. Please, that's on the Junior course. The cubic, the x to the power of 4, all new. Get that. But that's on the Junior course. Okay. Right. Next one is sketch. Now, this is important. Sketch, girls. Right? Okay, so sketch means exactly that. You're not drawing accurately. Right? You could have drawn it accurately, though. Right? Some of you gave me a graph, but you could have put it into your calculator and put in a domain. You know, look for the table and get a load of points and plot them. Right? Okay, but nobody did that. Right? Okay, I got crazy stuff, and yeah, you have a calculator for a reason. Right, okay, so now this means it crosses here. This would be x minus 2, so that means it crosses at 2. It doesn't cross at 2 though, it turns at 2, doesn't it? Because of the squared. You know, if it was just x minus 2 on its own, it would cross over, go straight across the axis at 2. Okay? But because it's x minus 2 squared, that means it hits the axis at 2 and it turns. Is that okay? Right, here, let the bracket equal 0, so that means x equals 0. So it crosses at 0. It actually crosses at 0. And where does this one tell me it crosses? Where does the last one tell me it crosses? It crosses at -1, yeah, okay. So that means I have -1, I have 0, and I have 2. 1, 2. Okay, is that right? So, next thing is, it's an x to the power of 4, isn't it? So, because it's x to the power of an even number, that means if it starts high, it finishes high. If it starts low, it finishes low. Right? Is the x to the power of 4 term, when you multiply that out, is the x to the power of 4 positive or negative? If you multiply that out, is the x to the power of 4 term, will it be positive or negative? Positive. That means you finish on a high. And because it's x to the power of an even number, you also start on a high. So you're starting high, right? You're crossing over, right, at -1. You're turning and you're crossing over at 0. Then you're turning and you're touching it at 2, and that's what it looks like. Right, something like that. Now you don't know how high up it goes there, right, or you don't know how low down it goes there, but it's a sketch, you don't need to. So all you need is where does it cross the x-axis is all, right, and does it cross or does it turn, right? So the squared means it just turned. Are we all right? 5 marks for that. Okay, right, the simultaneous equations, right, okay, you need to sort this out first. So, sorting this one out first, you need to get a common denominator. So, common denominator is 6, okay, so we have 2 into 6 goes 3 times 3 multiplied by whatever is above the line, which is 3x. Then I have a minus sign, 3 into 6 goes twice, 2 multiplied by whatever is above the line, which is 5y. Right, that's over 1. 1 into 6 goes 6 times, So it's 6 times whatever is above the line, which is 2z, equals 3 into 6 goes twice, 2 multiplied by whatever is above the line, which is a 2. Okay? So you can drop the common denominator, you've evened up both sides, so multiply out, so we get 9x minus 6y plus 12z equals 2 2s are 4. There's one equation. Second equation is fine. The top equation is fine, x, y, z equals number. The bottom equation, I need to move it around, don't I?
Is it not 9x minus 1?
Sorry, is that, oh, that's a 5, sorry, I read it as a 3, it's 10y, apologies. Right, okay. Yeah, sorry. This one, I just need to rearrange the bottom, so the x is first, then the y, then the number. Or x, y, z equals number. So I'm just going to rearrange that to minus x plus 4y plus 5z equals minus 16. Right? Okay, then you make the x's cancel or the y's cancel or the z's cancel, your choice. Okay, so I'm going to take number 1, which is 3x plus 2y minus 4z equals 12. And I'm going to take the last one and I'm going to cancel the x's. So I'm going to go minus, I'm going to multiply that one there, that here by 3. Okay, so I'm multiplying that by 3 and I'm bringing it down here, minus 3x plus 12y plus 15, keep an eye out that I don't multiply so stuff wrong, equals 3 times minus 16 is minus 48. Is that okay? They cancel, I'll end up with 14y plus 11z equals minus 36. Is that okay? Right, now I'm going to take a different 2 equations and I have to cancel the x's now because I chose to cancel the x's the first time round. So I'm going to take the last equation, which is here, 9x plus 10y plus 12z equals 4, and I'm going to multiply the top line, the top equation by 3. So I'm going to go 9x plus 6y minus 12z equals 36. Yeah? Then I'm going to change the sign so everything, the x's cancel, so that becomes a plus, that becomes a minus, and they cancel, and I'll end up with 4y plus 24z equals minus 32. Okay, then I'm going to take these two together and I'm going to cancel them. Right, okay, so I'm going to multiply this one by 2 to make it 28y, and I'm going to multiply this by 7 to make it 28y. Is that okay? So multiplying the top one by 2, I get 28y plus 22z equals minus 236 is 72. Multiply by 7, I'll get 28y, oh, 724, it's lovely. 168, is it? Plus 168z, plus 168z equals 732s, oh, for the love of God. Minus 210, minus 224, I think. Right, okay, change the signs, minus, minus, plus, they cancel, 22z minus 168, which is a minus 100, anyone feel free to jump in and help me, minus 146z equals here, 72 plus that is 224, 100 and, oh, it's not going to work out, sure it's not. Feck it. 296. No. I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong? Find my mistake. Look, whatever, I don't know, I've done something wrong there. I've got a sign wrong. The answer is x is 2, y is minus 1, and z is minus 2. You need calculators though. I'm trying to do these in my head after Christmas of eating, so yeah. Right, is that right? That she just finished it off herself. So start again, yes. Yeah. Okay, so start again and work it out. That's what the answers are. X is 2. So that's part of your homework tonight is, right, sort that out. Right, and solve it. Right, and keep going till you get it right. Okay? Is that right? I probably made a mistake there with a sign or something. So a teensy mistake with a sign. But most of you, when you made a teensy mistake, you kept going till the end. And if you make a small mistake and you keep going till the end, you'll get like, how many marks for that? Wait, now let's see, where is it? I'll go back. There was 10 marks for it, right? And if you made one mistake but kept going to the end, you got 7 out of 10. Right? Okay? Right. Is that alright? Right, next one. Graph these functions. Right, okay. Can I point out, this one is really easy. G of x equals 4. That's another way of saying y equals 4. That you just go to the y-axis, right, and you draw a straight line through 4. Right, okay, so g of x is here, so y equals 4. It's just straight across there. Is that right? Okay. Remember the other one, the modulus of that means that was originally the line y equals x plus 3. Right, so originally was a straight line, but all the negatives came up and became positive, and it's a V shape now. Okay, right. So what you need to do in order to draw this, you have to find where it cuts the x-axis. So where does it cut the x-axis? What's the rule? Cuts the x-axis what? Y equals 0, yeah. So that means x plus 3 equals 0. So that means x is equal to minus 3. So that means it cuts here at minus 3. So it's a V-shaped based on that. So the best thing you can do is take one line, get 1 point on the right hand side, 1 point on the left hand side of that point. Is that alright? So you can let x equal, so give me a point on the left. What will I do? Let x equal what? Minus 5? Happy with that? X equals minus 5. So it's y is equal to the positive value of minus 5 plus 3. So that means y is equal to the positive value of minus 2, which is 2. So that's minus 5, 2. So cross to minus 5 up to 2. Right, to get a point on the other side, what will I let x equal? Let x equal what? 1, minus 1? Yeah, friend. Minus 1. So that means y is equal to the positive value of minus 1 plus 3. So that means y works out to be the positive value of 2, which is just 2. So minus 1, 2. So there's your second line. Right, so then you just need to draw like so. And like so. There you are. There's your graph. Is that right? So you have to find where it cuts the x-axis, and they have 1 point on the left and 1 point on the right, and there's your V-shaped. Using your graph, now this is really important. It says using your graph. So if you didn't use the graph, right, you got 0 marks. Okay, so don't come asking me for 10 marks if you used algebra, right? It says use your graph. Write down the solution set to the inequality f of x, which is the V-shaped, is less than g of x. Right, so where is f of x less than g of x? Okay, and I've that drawn wrong. Right, that should be more like so. Right, f of x less than or equal to g of x. Okay, and it says use your graphs. You don't have to get it accurately. Right, okay, but basically look, it's here between minus 7 and 1. Would you agree? Where is f of x is the V-shaped, where is the V less than the line? It's between minus 7, so between minus 7 and 1, and there's equal to, so let's go equal to in the answer. Is that right? So your graph is where is the V shape less than the line? So it's less than underneath the line, it's underneath the line between minus 7 and 1, right? Verify your answer using algebra. Yeah, right. Verify your answer using algebra. That's, you want to know where does this line equals 4, right? Sorry, you want to know where is it less than or equal to 4. Because this is f of x, this is g of x. Okay, modular equation, what you have to do? Square both sides. Square the first, x squared plus twice the first by the second, 6x plus 9. Where is that less than or equal to 16? So that would be x squared plus 6x minus 7 is less than or equal to 0. This is a quadratic inequality. You need to sketch it, right? Okay, so you let it equal to 0. So x squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0. Factorize x and x, 7 and 1, a plus and a minus. Let each bracket equal 0 to get x is equal to minus 7, and you get x is equal to 1. So sketch, it crosses at minus 7 and it crosses at 1. It's a U-shaped curve, and you want to know where is it less than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 0. That's between minus 7 and 1, which is what we got up above there. Okay, for drawing the graph, sorry, 5 marks for drawing the graph, 5 marks for answering this bit, and 5 marks for doing the algebra. Okay? Right, are we good? Okay. Are we good? Can I go? Right, okay. Next one is the factor theorem. Right, factor theorem is where you guess the first factor. Right, okay. So you have to solve the equation. Factor theorem, guess, we'll worry about these non-real roots in a minute, okay. Basically, get the roots. Right, okay, as in solve it. Okay, so you guess the first one. So here you let x equal 1, right, okay, and when you fill in 1, you will end up with 1 minus 7 plus, that's minus 6, plus 17 is 11, minus 15, you end up with minus 4 equals 0. That is clearly not true. Okay, so x equals 1 is not a solution. So then you guess x equals 2, and guess what, that doesn't turn out right at all either. And you go x equals, then you say let x equals 3, and 3 cubed minus 7 times 3 squared plus 17 times 3 minus 15 equals 0. And when you put that into the calculator, you get 0 equals 0. So that means x equals 3 is the solution. There's your real solution. You know it says one integer root, you just found it, right? So if x equals 3 is a root, x minus 3 is a factor. Okay, so then you have to do long division. So you do x minus 3 into x cubed minus 7x squared plus 17x plus 15. Would you be okay if I just skip to the answer of the long division? Is that okay that I skip to the answer? Right, okay. You'll end up with x, when you do that long division, you'll get x squared minus 4x plus 5. Okay? Right, so so then you have to factorize x squared minus 4x plus 5. You won't be able to find factors for it. Okay, so you have to use the minus b formula. Is that okay? So it's minus b, which is 4 plus minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 4 squared, minus 4ac, 4 times a is 1, c is 5, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1, into the calculator with that, right, and it'll bring up an error message. The reason it'll bring up an error message is because when you work out underneath the square root sign, it's 4 plus or minus, that's actually the square root of a negative number, minus 4 all over 2, and that's your answer. That's as far as you can go, right? So one answer is 4 plus the square root of minus 4 over 2, the other answer is 4 minus the square root of minus 4 over 2, and the last answer is x equals 3. Okay, there's an extra step you can do if we had complex numbers done, but because we don't have complex numbers done, that's the answer we were looking for. Okay, so that's the algebra answer. Okay, 15 marks for that. Okay, is that right?
Miss, what's the answer? Sorry, can you just read it out?
One answer is x is 3. The other answer is x equals 4 plus the square root of minus 4 over 2. And the last answer is 4 minus the square root of minus 4 over 2. Okay? Can you read them? Sorry. Are we okay? Okay, 15 marks for that, so can I go? Right, next one is third equations. You need to square both sides, right? Okay, please watch this, everyone, right? Because I don't know how many people I saw with this mistake. When you square this side, you square the first term. So square the first term, what will I get? Square the first term. 3x minus 5. Then you get twice the first by the second. So twice the first by the second is minus 6 times the square root of 3x minus 5. Then you square the last term, you get plus 9. Okay? And over this side, when you square here, you'll just get x minus 6. Is that right? I don't know how many people left out that middle term. Right? Okay? And a puppy dies every time you leave out that middle term. So there was hundreds of puppies dead. Well, 20, I'd say 20, 21, 22 puppies died. All your fault. Right, okay? Right. When we still have a third equation, so what you do is you leave the third on its own on one side, you bring everything else over to the other side. So I'll end up with my square root of minus 6 times the square root of 3x minus 5 over this side. I have an x, I'm bringing over the 3x, so that would be minus 2x. I have a minus 6 here, I'm bringing over the minus 5, so that would be a plus 5, so I'm on minus 1. And then I'm bringing over the plus 9, which would be a minus 10. Now, I would think I have done something wrong there, have I? No, no, it's fine. There's a wrong sign. Minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1. Oh no. Why have I different sign to what they have? Because, yeah, it's fine. Right, okay. Square both sides to get rid of the, I still have a third, so I need to square both sides. So square here, you'll get 36 into 3x minus 5. Square this side, you'll get, square the first, 4x squared. Twice the first by the second, you'll get 40x. Square the last, you'll get plus 100. Multiply out, tidy everything up, right, okay, and you can divide across, and you're going to end up with an equation x squared minus 17x plus 70 equals 0. I've skipped loads of lines there, but you've just multiplied into the brackets, brought everything to the left and divided across. Right, okay? Is that okay with everyone that I skip loads of steps there? Because I'll never get to the end of the test if I don't. Right? Factorize x and x, 7 and 10, and a minus and a minus. Let each bracket equal 0, so you get x is 7, x equals 10. And remember, for the third equations, make sure you go back and just sub it in to make sure you're not trying to get the square root of a negative number, because that doesn't exist. And both are valid answers, both work. As in, you'll be getting the square root of 25 there when x is 10, and you'll be getting the square root of 16 there when x is 7, so that's fine. Okay, is that alright? Are we good? 10 marks for that. Right, okay. Now the next one, can I go? Can I go? Right, next one, girls, all you have to do is get this, it's find the equation of each line. So to get the equation of a line, you need a slope and a point. Right, okay? So you have to look at the diagram. For each line, you have to get 2 points on the line, calculate the slope, then get the equation. Okay, right? So again, it's junior cert stuff. I'm sorry to keep saying that, but I want you to know, right? So if I take line M, if I get 2 points on line M, so I'm going to read off 0, 3 anyway. Right, okay, and how about this one? That is 3, oh no, that's a fraction. I don't like fractions. Is that fractions? It's a fraction, is it? Well, is 2, 4 on the line? I'd say 2, 4 is on the line. So I won't have to have a fraction. Okay? Is that alright? Okay, so get the slope, x1, y1, x2, y2, slope formula y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, that would be 1 over 2. So the slope of m is a half. Right, then get the equation. So the equation is y minus y1 equals a half into x minus x1, which is 0. Okay, that'll do me. You don't have to multiply it out. Okay, you can if you want. Right, okay, it's 2y minus 6 equals x. Rearranging that, that's x minus 2y plus 6 equals 0. That's the equation of one line. Right, okay, the equation, that's line M, right? Then to get the equation of line L, we go again. So we have to get 2 points on line L, so I'll go 6, 0, and I'll go 0, 9. Right, I'll get the slope of that. So it's y2 minus y1 all over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is minus 3. The slope of that is 9 divided by minus 3, minus 3. Okay, then y minus y1, y minus 0 equals minus 3 into x minus 6. You don't need to multiply it out, but if you want to, that's minus 3x. Something's wrong. Say that again. 9 divided by minus 3. Minus 3. Oh, that should be a 6, shouldn't it? Sorry, there we go. So it's minus 3 over 2 is the slope. So it's minus 3 over 2. Cross multiply minus 3x plus 18. Then rearranging, we have 3x plus 2y minus 18 equals 0. Apologies, I put in a, instead of for x2, I put in a 3 instead of a 6. Is that right? Okay, are we good? Right. Yeah. Yeah. Megan? And how many marks did I give you? 7. And are they both correct? bring it up to me afterwards, and I'll make sure both are correct. And yeah, I'll have a few minutes at the end to fix any queries we may have. Is that all right? Now, before I turn the page, the next bit asked me to find the area. See this area here? That's what it asked me. It says find the area between M, K, the x-axis and the y-axis. They want you to find that area. Right, in coordinate geometry of the line, we're only able to find the area of what? I only gave you one formula that has area in it. What are you able to find the area of? A triangle. So what I need to do is I'm going to divide that into two triangles. So I'm going to draw a line across here, right, okay, and I'm going to get the area of each triangle and I'm going to add the answers. Is that all right with everyone? Right, that's the only thing in coordinate geometry, that's the only thing you're able to get the area of is a triangle. So if you get a funny looking shape, you have to split it up, right, okay? So I'm going to do, there's a triangle here and there's a triangle here. Is that all right? Okay, are we good with this? This is 0, 0. This is 6, 0. And this is 0, 3. Is that okay? Right, okay. And when one of them is 0, 0, that's great. I don't have to translate anything. So it's a half times x1, which is 6, times y2, which is 3, minus x2 is 0, y1, which is 0. Okay, into the calculator, that works out to be 9. So the area of that bit there is 9. Okay, this one I need to translate. Okay, so this is the point 0, 3. This is the point 6, 0. And this point over there, I'll have to go back and see what it is. It is 3, 4.5, is it? I think it is.
Can I ask everyone to stop for a few moments, please? I'd just like to welcome all our students and teachers back today. I know it's a challenge and we are down students and teachers, we're conscious of that, but I'd like to thank everyone for making the effort. But of course we know that this new strain of the virus is much, much more contagious, so we must have to be much more careful, especially at lunchtime. If any of your colleagues at lunchtime, when you're eating with them and around you, will get COVID, you'll be taken out with them. And you know, for the UNICEF and UNICEF, that is a very big issue because you're going to be out for 10 days. So you need to be very, very careful. And you need to be, when you go away home in the evening, if you're washing your masks, that's fine. If they're disposable masks, they are disposable and they can't be worn the following day. To be honest, you should be changing them at lunchtime anyway. So I'd ask everyone just to adhere to that. The uniform, there's no reason for not wearing the uniform. And tomorrow morning, I'm asking all teachers to do the very first thing tomorrow morning is do a uniform check. The uniform is there, the coat is as warm as we can get, you can put layers on underneath, but it's proper shoes, and I'd like to thank 90% of the students today who are in proper uniform, to thank for that, but we are not going to accept it at all. There is no reason not to be in proper uniform, and I'd ask everyone tomorrow to make sure you're in uniform. Study will continue this evening, and will continue on Saturday and Sunday. Obviously we have to monitor it all the time, but we have to keep careful. And finally, just some of the rooms I've been in, especially the rooms above the library, there's tons of stuff on the floor and you're the only classes inside it. I want those floors cleared this evening because I'm asking the cleaners to do an audit in every room, every evening for the next 2 weeks. And the rooms that are being left with litter on the ground, I'm asking the cleaners to leave it there. It is not acceptable that someone else picks up your litter. And I'll ask teachers maybe to ensure it in the evening, just make sure that there's nothing on the floors and get classes to pick them up. And finally, I'd just like to congratulate Mr. Burns, who's the new deputy principal now. Mr. Burns has been, as you know, in the school for quite a while, TY coordinator, and we wish him the best in his new position, and of course we miss Miss Garrity the best as well in her retirement. Thank you.
Right, okay, so the coordinates of the corners of this, or the vertices of this triangle are 0, 3, 6, 0, 3, 4.5. Right, okay, remember one of them has to be 0, 0, so I'm going to pick the top one and send it to 0, 0. Right, So the x didn't change, it got 0 to 0, so that means none of the x's changed. So that's still 6, that's still 3. The y's, 3 to 0 went down by 3, so that would be minus 3, and this would be 1.5. Is that okay? Right, then we call x1, y1, x2, y2, and fill in the formula x2, y2. So it's 1/2 times x1, y2 is 1.5, minus x2 is 3, times x1 is minus 3. Okay, working out that in the calculator, that 6 times 1.5 would be 9. 9 plus 9 is 18, half of 18 would be, no, that's, I have a wrong coordinate there. No, I don't. No, I'm right. It works out to be 9. Then you add the 2 bits. So 9 and 9 is 18. So the area of the shape is 18. Is that right? 10 marks for that.
Yes. And for that, would you want to get the area of the big triangle and then get the area of the smaller triangle at the top and take it away from it?
The area of the big triangle and the, oh, okay. So yes, all right. Yes, you could. You get the area of the big triangle and you take away this. Did you try and do that and I didn't give you enough marks?
No,
Was it?
I didn't.
But you could have, yes. And you know, that would probably be shorter, because if you do the area of the big triangle, you can use half the base by the perpendicular height, because it's a right angle triangle. Yeah, so that might be even better than the way I did it. Yeah, okay, yeah, you could. See, she's saying get the area of the big triangle, take away the area of the little triangle on top. Yeah, you could do same thing. Right, okay, are we okay? Right, but it's important to know in coordinate geometry, the only shape you're able to get the area of is a triangle. Right, okay, the next one, measure the angle between the two lines, right, of the acute angle, right? So tan of theta equals plus minus m1 minus m2 all over 1 plus m1 multiplied by m2. And you have the slopes from the first section, right? Okay, so it's the plus minus. Normally, girls, the acute angle is the plus, so I'm going to drop that plus minus. But if you want to keep it going till the end and then decide which one's the acute, that's fine too. Right, okay, right, so it's minus 3 over 2 minus 1/2, was it? All over 1 plus minus 3 over 2 multiplied by 1/2. Working all that out, you'll end up with tan theta is equal to minus 8. Right, okay, and then you get the inverse tan of minus 8, and you get theta is equal to 83 degrees. Right, so you'll get 83 and 97. So you work out which one is the acute. Is that all right? Are we all good with that? So that's just straightforward filling in a formula. Okay, I was really disappointed to see how many people didn't know we had this formula, but yeah, it happened. Right, okay, are we good? Right, can I go? I have 15 minutes to get the last one done. Yeah, that's great. Right. Sorry? Sorry, how marks? Only 5 marks for that. The area one was 10 marks, and so 10 marks for the equations, 10 marks for the area, and 5 marks for the angle. Is that okay? Right, then the last one was algebra question, right, with logs. So here's my formula, PT, which is the population, equals AE to the power of BT. So whatever the population is AE to the power of BT, right? And they give me 2 pieces of information first. On the the first day of the study, that means t is 0. When t is 0 at the start, t is always 0. 4 is the population, so 4 is equal to ae to the power of b times 0. So that's e to the power of 0, that means a is equal to 4. E to the power of 0 is 1, anything to the power of 0 is 1. So that means a is 4, right? Okay, and the second bit is, after 7 weeks, the population, 23 students were shown flu symptoms. So 23 equals, a I've just figured out is 4 e to the power of, what was it, week 7, 7b. So I'm working out b, right, okay. So then divide by 4, right, okay. So e to the power of 7b is equal to 23 over 4. You can turn it into a decimal if you want. Right, I get the log to the base e of both sides, so ln 23 over 4, equals ln e to the power of 7b. So you'll get 7b equals ln 23 over 4, right? So get, on your calculator, get ln of 23 over 4 and divide it by 7, right? And round it up to 2 places of decimals, and you'll end up with b is equal to 0.25. Okay, so when you work out all that. Is that right? Okay, marks for that, 15. 15 marks for that. Okay, that's good. Okay. For the love of God, you just turn. Right, next one. So find the number of students who displayed flu symptoms after 15 weeks. Okay, so we know the population is equal to, we've just worked out, a worked out to be 4 e to the power of 0.25 t, right? So all we have to do is put in 15 for t. So the population, however many students, is 4 e to the power of 0.25 times 15 into the calculator, round it up to the nearest whole number, and you get 170 students. Is that right? Okay, that would be 10 marks, actually, sorry, 10 marks. So 15, 10, right, okay, and then the last bit, how many weeks did it take for students? So we're on PT, the population is equal to 4e to the 0.25 t. This time they're telling me, right, 50 students had flu, 50 equals 4e to the 0.25 t. Right, divide by 4, so you get e to the 0.25 t. 50 divided by 4 would be 12.5. Right, get rid of that e, so get the log of both sides, so get ln e 0.25 t equals ln 12.5. So we'll get that's 0.25 t equals ln 12.5. So get the ln of 12.5, which is log to the base e, right, of 12.5 divided by 0.25 and rounded up to the nearest whole numbers, that would be 10. Okay, is that right? Are we good? Right, 10 marks for that. Finally, for the sketch cards, you have the points already. You have the points from your three questions, right? So you have actually 4 points, right? So the first point is when the time was 0, the population was 4, right? You got that in part A, right? the second point you got from part B or from part A as well. They told me when at 7 weeks, so when the time was 7, the population was 23. Right? Then from part B, they told me that when the time was